So
Makes for a long day. Jay, what's the UConn women's basketball record? Do you know?
17-5.
all right, I'm going to start recording on Zoom now, and we should be good to go.
You all set to go?
Yep.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the Park and Recreation Board together for Tuesday, February 15th, 2022. And the time is 7:02. May we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Jay Batalico,
Here.
Richard De Silva,
Here.
Eileen Francolino,
Here.
Thomas Gill,
Here.
Anthony Koloski,
Here.
Matt Koloski, Ed Marchand,
Here.
Nicole Payne,
Here.
Jennifer Wynne Johnson, and Don Woods.
Here.
Okay, so we have a good quorum tonight.
And then just for liaisons, Tim Mankey
Here.
and Kim Rada. So, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much, Melissa. At this time, we'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the
flag.
United States of America. And to the republic
to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under
Under
God,
God,
liberty.
visible, liberty, for all.
Okay. This time, can we have the election of officers for the chairman? Can I have some nominations?
Okay, I'd like to nominate you, Dave Vitalico, for chair.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any more nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Did
motion,
you add a raise? Did you get a raise for that one?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. All right.
10% of zero. Okay, for the vice chair, I would like to nominate Don Woods, Don Payne, geez, Don Woods.
Second.
Have a second?
Second.
Any more nominations for vice chair? If none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Congratulations, Don.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay, and now for secretary, nomination for Mrs. Francolino.
Second.
Okay, any other nominations? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Mrs. Francolino. Okay, the next item is the approval of January, was it 18th, 2022 meetings. Any additions or subtractions? If not, can I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept January 18th, 2022 Parks and Rec minutes.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, minutes are now in the record. Do we have any public participation, Sam?
Not at this time, no.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, we have one agenda item for the board to consider to add to the agenda. if someone could make a motion and it needs a 2/3 vote to add to the agenda.
What is it?
What is it, Bill?
Melissa, does Sam have it up on the screen?
Yep, I have the motion up now.
Okay. Want me to make the motion, Jay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to make an addition to the agenda. Motion to accept the Life Be In It Extravaganza 40th Anniversary Celebration Board Member Event.
Do I have a second?
Sure.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't think we need a roll call on this, do we? What do we need? 2/3?
Just 2/3. If you just say, is there any,
Okay,
are there any abstentions or negative votes?
okay. Anyone
that on-
opposed? Okay. Put it on. Where do you want to put it, Bill?
It'll be under new business.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's get into correspondence. Before I do that, let me welcome Tommy Gill and Rich De Silva. Welcome to the board meeting, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, go ahead. Pam Lavery, fee waiver request for motorcycle madness. Life Be In It Extravaganza. Got a motion here?
I think this is just correspondence. So really,
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm
everything
sorry.
is, yeah. And may I welcome the two new board members also, Mr. Sylvia and Mr. Gill, and open invitation to stop by the office and have a cup of coffee or to call me on the phone with any questions or orientation issues, anything you want to know about Parks and Rec. I'm always there to answer any questions for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Pam Lavery. Donation to the Newington Park and Rec Department.
The board has given her, Mr. Chairman, some waivers on fees, and I think in her generosity, she wanted to reciprocate with a donation of $100.
Okay. We basically do this every year, right?
Yeah, different amounts, different things. Yep.
Okay, the next is the CT Brawlers fee request for 2022, 2023.
That's the correspondence, and it'll be under new business.
Okay. Letter from Jimmy Roback. Donation.
Yeah, an old high school buddy who is supporting our Parks and Rec department.
Still hanging around here, huh?
Yeah, I haven't seen him in years,
He's
35,
all right.
40 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, E is note from Pat Mahoney. What's the GFWC?
General Women's
Wrestling
Federation. Something about it's a women's club in Weathersfield and Newington.
Oh, okay.
And they pick the CVS flower area and they volunteer to plant the flowers and weed them, except they're having trouble watering them. So I've agreed to send our part-time 19-hour-a-week person, Mr. Fontana, over there with our water truck to water for them. I did look up the MDC, but it was too cost prohibitive to put in an underground meter from the MDC. And so we went this route. It was cheaper.
Okay. Well, I guess now we'll go on to the summary reports. The first one is the monthly report for January 2022.
Nothing of,
Any questions or additions or?
nothing significant that's
Pretty
changed.
self-explanatory.
Yep.
And then B is the tree warden report for 2022.
just for the month. Yeah, it's, Tommy does a great job over there with the Parks guys and doing the best we can.
That's good.
Hey, Bill?
Yep.
While we're on those reports, I just had a question about what's happening with the cemeteries. I noticed the past few times that I've been there, there's quite a few new graves that have been dug that are like missing at least 2 inches of topsoil, probably more. So they look a little kind of creepy. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, that's a standard operating procedure for cemeteries. You top it off, they call it topping it off to 2 or 3 inches. And then what happens is the rain comes and it sinks and it flattens out. And then we go back and fill it so that it's level.
It just was weird because my mom was recently buried and hers doesn't look like that. And then the new ones all of a sudden are like looking like a hole in the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
It depends on the material of the earth in each section of the cemetery.
I just never seen it before. It was different.
Yeah.
Is
Grass
the
don't
new
grow too
section
well this
gonna
time of
be
year either,
open?
Bill.
I think both of you were talking. I didn't hear.
Go ahead, Ed.
It says grass doesn't grow too well this time of year either.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the new section open?
Yes, we started selling graves about a month ago.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's go on to old business now. Water Lantern Festival, letter of agreement, September 10th, 2022.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, as you know, I brought this idea, the concept again about the water lantern. It's been hugely successful for us. And I told you that I'd come back with the final details after you allowed me to continue the negotiations. A couple highlights, we went up from $1.50 a lantern to $2. And we went up, I think $500 or $1,000 in the rental fee. We went up a few places. So we're probably gonna, if things go well and the weather's good, we probably should net out around $15,000 for the department.
Any questions on that from the board? If not,
Just for the new guys, I don't know if the new people are aware, generally when we hold an event like that, the board members volunteer their time to help out, so it cuts down on the labor costs and we can help the department raise money.
Thank you for that, Ms. Francolino. Could someone like to read the motion?
I don't see the motion.
We got it there?
It's on the screen.
Don, you want to take a shot?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Water Lantern Festival letter of agreement for September 10th, 2022.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passed.
Melissa, did you get the second person? I couldn't identify that voice.
Was it Rich?
It was,
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Rich, I don't even know if you know, but I'm blind, so I'm trying in Zoom. It's even more difficult, so I'm trying to help Melissa so we get the minutes correct.
Okay, the next one is girls lacrosse tournament at Newington High School, June 22nd, 24th, 2022, and a letter of agreement.
Mr. Chairman, the same thing as of the previous one. You gave me the opportunity to negotiate. We did. This is an added national lacrosse tournament for high school girls. It's something special when a national sports group from Maryland comes here 2 times in a row. You got to believe that they're being treated fairly and well. So, again, we probably will net out around $15,000 to $20,000 on this one, and they will employ many of our youth lacrosse people as scorekeepers and runners and helpers. So it's kind of a win-win situation all the way around.
This is second year, right, Bill?
Well, and Memorial Day weekend, that was the boys tournament. That's the
Okay.
second year.
This is first for the girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Mrs. Francolino, you want to take a shot at the motion?
Coming.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the letter of agreement for the, oh my goodness, that's blacked out.
You have it?
Yep, for the Girls High School National Lacrosse Tournament with the Corrigan Sports on Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022 through Friday, June 24th, 2022 at the Newington High School and Clem Lemire.
Second,
Second.
Second.
who was that, Don or Matt?
I think it was
On
Ed.
both of
yeah.
us.
Ed.
Ed? Oh, boy. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Now we're on to new business. Pam Lavery fee waiver request for the Motorcycle Madness and the Life Be In It extravaganza.
Yeah, this is, we talk about this every year and I thought she put it all on one letter, but she put it in two different letters. So that we're just doing this for, to kind of get the details straightened out for her.
We have the motion up on the screen. Don, you want to try that?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the Newington Parks and Recreation Department to waive the $50 booth fee for the Motorcycle Madness event on June 11th, 2022, and the $90 nonprofit organization civic group fee for the Life Be In It extravaganza on July 16th, 2022.
Second,
Second.
was that Ed?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item is the CT Brawlers fee request for 2022-23 season.
Mr. Chairman, you know, we have a long history of 6 or 7 years with this team. And I believe the Rich Prashant is going to be coaching football in Europe somewhere. And his son is taking over the team. And they're requesting, instead of $700, to bring it to residence rates of $350. And as you know, this board has a rule that if you don't have 90% of any adult teams, then you're considered out of town or non-resident rate. I believe that the only resident, to my knowledge, is the coach, the son. And the players are from other towns. It's expensive to run run the field turf and clean up after and get things prepared and et cetera. So it's up to the board. I put a motion in there to accept, deny, or split, I think was the words I might have used. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I got a question. I seen the pictures that you provided us last year of the mess after the games there. So I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
they'd be pretty rough on the field too, correct?
Yeah, it is.
I also had a question, in that letter, he made some, statement about, him not letting other teams use the field. Since when does he have the right to decide who he lets on the field and lets off the field? I mean, it's not his field to decide those kind of things, right?
That is correct. That's a correct statement. I do
Yeah.
believe I talked with the president of the league out of, I think, Boston last year. And he says it's a courtesy to call the home team and say, other teams want to play on your field. So I think he might have embellished his authority. And I think you're onto something, Eileen. I would agree with you. He doesn't have the authority.
Right. So we have no way of knowing if he's turning around saying he's renting the field. He could rent it, say, oh, sure, you can come and use my field, charge them 3 times as much and make money on the deal.
that could be a possibility. Yes.
Well, my problem, Bill, is the insurance. Who covers the insurance?
Yeah, the league does have insurance, and they do name the town of Newington as additionally insured. So
Okay.
I think, I'm not an
So
insurance
we're off
agent.
the hook then,
I
as
think we
far
are.
as insurance.
I think so.
Hey, Jay, if I can make a comment, this team represents itself as a civic hero throughout the community, but they've proven to us time and time again that their word and actions fall far short when it comes to the use of our facilities. We've tried to work with them in the past. I think we'd be setting a bad precedent. They're not a resident. They don't qualify for residential rates. If you do it for this team, you're gonna have to do it for another team or another group, and it goes on and on. But this team in particular, this group in particular, has always proven to be not necessarily the program that they offer, and the play that occurs after is not necessarily the same as we were led to believe. That's my thought.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may add, that's a good point, because if you did do it for them, this is adult football, but we also have adult softball, which there's probably 18 teams there, men's basketball where there's 20 teams, women's softball, frisbee, ultimate frisbee. You have so many adult leagues that go by this 90% resident, non-resident policy that you would be really opening up a can of worms for us.
Well, my big thing is the wear and tear on the field, because what are we running, about 12 years now?
Yes.
And that field was never designed for adult play. When we put that field together, that turf was for no higher than high school. So yeah, I think we
Can I
gotta
ask
do
a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
What was the cost of maintenance and cleanup after they left versus the benefit of giving them the fee request?
Good question. Every game was different. Sometimes it's one guy at 4 hours at time and a half or double time. Oftentimes their games are on Saturday night, so I have to bring a guy in at 6 a.m. on Sunday to clean up at double time so that we're ready for the youth football league to start at 8 a.m. So, it could be a couple $100. It could be $500.
So basically, you don't even cover your cleanup time in one respect.
That's a good statement. Yes.
Any more on that?
Yeah, I have a question. So Bill,
Go
if
ahead.
they are not residents, and regardless of whether we're charging them full or not full, I mean, why are they even playing there if they're not a residential team? Like, why are we renting the field to them? Just for income?
Yeah, pretty much income, and there's some economic development value to having adult sports in your community. What the value is, we could all agree or disagree, but yeah, I would say the income, the use of the fields, no different than men's baseball at Alumni Field and the Legends, no different than softball at Churchill.
Yeah, but those softball fields, those softball teams are all residents, or at least people who work in the community. They meet that residency requirement. These guys don't.
No, that's not totally true. If the team doesn't have 90% residents, then they have to pay a fee. And I'm not sure, each league is different, but I'm not sure what the fee is, but they pay to be an out-of-towner. They pay extra.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for Bill.
Go
I
ahead.
assume, Bill, you're not in favor of giving these guys a break. Is that correct?
I think as a taxpayer, that's correct. As a taxpayer, why should we give any kind of break to someone that doesn't invest in our community? I have no problem whatsoever with people that live in town. They should get the benefits of the assets of this community.
I
It would
agree.
cost us money, and it doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
Any more comment on this? Ed, you want to read the motion, please? And I think we'll have a roll call on this after.
I make a motion to accept or deny the request from Rick Backhand of the Connecticut Brawlers to charge him the residential rate of $350 instead of the non-residential rate of $700 per Clem-Lemire football field. Part of this is blocked out, the 2022-23 season.
Second?
Okay, hold on, Mr. Chairman.
yeah,
if I
so we
just
gotta-
may-
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we
I
amend
put
the,
My motion is deny it.
To deny it, yeah, okay, thank you. Just wanted to be clear.
You want to deny, that was your
I
motion,
wanna
Don?
deny- My motion is to deny this request.
why don't you,
Okay,
Want me to reread it?
yeah, why don't you reread it?
yeah.
I make a motion to deny the request from Rick Backham of the Connecticut Brawlers to charge him the residential rate of $350 instead of the residential rate of $700 for Clem-Lemire football field for the season 2022-2023.
Second.
All in
Second.
favor of denying this motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion goes down the tubes. Next one is the 2022 Spring Program Guide, Bill.
Jay?
Yeah, I believe you have a
Stuff
20,
there.
you should have a 24-page brochure. I would say that the entire staff did a wonderful job on it. Special kudos to Hadil Majdow in our office. She puts the final product together, but Melissa and Sam and Joe and Kelly and everybody else, Taylor, they all proofread it 5 times to make it as good as perfect as we can. It'll be going out in the Life magazine. It's directly mailed to 13,500 households, and we put copies at a variety of places. So there you have a motion to accept the programs, accept the fees attached to them, and all the facility rental fees are all in there for Churchill Park and the pavilions, and nothing out of the ordinary. I do want to bring your attention to something totally new. We're trying this as a new program, adult education. We're going to offer several adult programs online with a company we found through the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association that will do certified people to be paralegals, pharmacy tech people, welders, plumbers, electricians. It's a variety of adult education certifications, and we will, as a department, will advertise it. We'll take the registrations, and they will provide the instructors and the certification, and we will probably get around between 25 and 30% of the gross, depending on how many people sign up for each class. So this is an experiment. I just bring your attention to that. That's brand new.
Bill, are there any new costs that we should be aware of? Or is it
Not really.
basically the same?
Yeah, really the same. Our advertising will be the whole package, so that won't really go up much. And I think it's a revenue generator, and I think it also brings new kinds of people to the Parks and Recreation Department.
Bill, how do you get certified to be a plumber or a welder online?
They, I'm not exactly sure, but they have a written test for each one of them online. And I think you have to show up somewhere that they've identified, a school in Connecticut, and they have to take a practical test.
Any other questions on the spring program guide? If not, Rich, you want to read give you a shot to read the motion? How's that sound?
Sounds fair. Motion to accept the spring program guide, including programs, fees, and charges associated with the event and facility.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Need a second, Jay.
Aye. No.
Opposed? Motion passes. Good. Billy, the next is,
Did we have a second on that motion?
No,
No, we did not.
no, I'll second it.
Okay, thank
Donwood, yeah, okay. Next is a new scoreboard at Legend Field. Sponsored by Cedar Ridge Construction.
Yep, Mark Whitowick Jr. Owns the company. He's been very active and very generous to us by sponsoring the train and the hay wagon rides at Christmas time. And I asked him if he would be interested in donating $7,000 over 5 years to have his name on the scoreboard to help us get a scoreboard, because the Little League really is interested in it very much. So he came forward, and we have the additional money will come out of a small amount in the CIP program, the capital improvement program. So we're very thankful to Cedar Ridge Construction and thank Mark Whitowick and his family. Little side note, his child is in our preschool program, and they just signed up their second child for next year. So we'll have 2 of the Whitowicks in our preschool.
Hey,
Hey.
Bill?
Yeah?
Bill, just a question. Nothing, this has no reflection on any sponsor, but over 5 years, a lot can happen. Is there some sort of an agreement written into the agreement that if payment doesn't come, the name can change? You know what I'm saying? So what if anyone doesn't fulfill their obligation in full? What's the options that we have for 5 years?
That's a good question. On this particular one, I think he plans on paying us the entire $7,000 right away. With the other one, with coming up, the next vote is the Mike Turgeon one, and it's 1,000 down, 2,000 at Christmas, 2,000 at Christmas, 2,000 at Christmas. But he can pay it off earlier if he so desires. I didn't write in their agreement to take the sign down, but I assume that would be my move if we had to.
Okay. Again, no reflection on anybody, absolutely.
Right.
Just curious.
So Bill, if I'm understanding you correctly, that Cedar Ridge Construction sign is removable?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
2 feet. It's 2 feet by 12
2
feet.
feet. Yeah,
It hangs from the bottom.
Is it removable even though it's not in the agreement?
Well, first, again, Cedar Ridge is going to pay us up front, so I don't think we have to worry about that one. But Mike Turgeon's, I could adjust that if the board so desires. He's a trustworthy guy and a trustworthy business. I don't see. I wanted to protect them the other way. I wanted them to be able to keep the sign up after 5 years, just in case nobody else comes forward or they don't do anything with the scoreboard. But if you feel strongly about it, I could go back to him and ask him if it's okay to put a sentence or 2 in there about if he doesn't pay.
Oh, are you saying that sign is only good for 5 years for the sponsor?
That's what we said. Yes.
How about the one at Little League?
That one,
At volunteer?
that one, I believe, was a 4-year or 5-year deal that the Little League made.
Okay.
I don't know, in my opinion, I think you should have something to give us an option to
Remove
protect
it.
ourselves if in fact you don't get paid. Again, I know Mike Turgeon, I know Mark, well, I actually know his dad. It has nothing to do with them, it's just business. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sure I could do that if the board wants me to do that.
Well, what do you want to do, gentlemen? Do you want
I would say
to
yes.
write the letter?
I also agree because if you do this for someone similar to the football, you're already setting the precedent, and now you have to do it for everyone else that comes around to omit
Yep.
clauses, which can cause legal issues.
Why don't we rewrite the letter, Bill, to cover that?
Sure. Yep. No problem.
So we can move this on to the next meeting then?
Um,
One quick question.
Go ahead, Tom.
As far as the specifications on the scoreboard itself, and are they buying it particularly, or are we buying it?
we buy it through Nevco.
Okay. So we try and spec the same vendor that we've got the rest of the scoreboards?
Yeah, that's correct. The 4 scoreboards in the new community center are from the same company. And then these 2 would be, actually, and then the one at Volunteer is the same. And they have plans to do one, the same company at Badger Field.
Okay, that's the point that I, wanted to make, and, so they keep the same.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good point.
So are we in agreement that the letter should be rewritten to both Cedar Ridge and Turgeon Jewelers?
If it's okay, I mean, if Cedar Ridge pays me the whole 7,000 in like next week, then I really don't have to write anything, do I?
Don't see
Yeah,
a
but-
purpose.
It doesn't say in there it specifies for 5 years though, does it, in the letter?
Yes, but I think Don's point is that if they don't pay us, what's our recourse?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So I would just do it. I think I would just do it for Turgeon Jewelers, if that's okay. Mark, you know what? I'll do
Okay,
tomorrow.
yeah,
I'll do it.
Okay, just-
I'll do it for
just-
both tomorrow. I'll do it for both.
Yeah.
okay.
And
'Cause
So then
going back
this will
to-
be on the
going back to-
next meeting's agenda, right?
Going back to Rich's, Rich's point is you want to be fair and consistent with everybody in the future. So let me rewrite it. If it's okay with you guys, I'll just rewrite it. I wouldn't want to wait another month because it takes over 8 weeks to order these 2 scoreboards. And I wanted to try to get it up for the springtime, if possible.
so Bill,
I could show you the final product, or I can, you know what? How about if I carbon copy the board in when we send out the new agreement to the two sponsors?
just a question, couldn't we just take this motion and add the word amended as per whatever? I don't have the motion in front of me now.
Or discussion. Bill, how
Yep.
come the Board of Education is mentioned in the letter for a Legends scoreboard?
I don't know why it was in for Legends.
Mhm.
I thought I did it just for the soccer field and the lacrosse field at the high school.
No, and the other thing I was wondering, I understand why it would be in the other one, but in the past, I know Maureen's new and I haven't come across this yet. There's always been some little squirreliness about them and advertising certain businesses. Is that gone away now with new leadership?
In my conversations with the superintendent, she was very clear and I was very clear that it wouldn't be a bad company, not bad company, but a company that has to do with alcohol, tobacco, drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
And once we discussed it was Turgeon Jewelers, she was fine with presenting that to the board for their approval.
Okay. Thank you.
But Bill, it's no different than the signage at the football field. Their sponsorship there. I don't even see why we have a problem with the sponsorship part of it. If we're allowed to put banners up at the football field, why can't we put a sponsor's name on the scoreboard? I don't follow that.
No, they were fine with it. They were fine. It was just that they didn't want something that would be controversial, like,
Like a package store, okay?
like a package store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Package store is a good example. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they were fine with it. The Board of Ed was, in fact, embraced it. Because that scoreboard's been broken for 20 some odd years. They haven't used it in that long.
Okay, now how do you want to rewrite this thing now?
So can we, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but can't we just say terms outlined in the amended letter of agreement for the Legends baseball field, blah, blah?
At
Do
the
you need
end,
that word? Do you need that word, Bill, amended?
Yeah,
Or if
as
you haven't-
amended by,
If they
as
haven't signed
amended
it
by the
yet,
board.
okay. Want me to
And
read
the
it?
board, and I think the sentence is going to be something like this. It'll be, if payments are not received in a reasonable time frame, then the Parks and Recreation Department reserves the right to remove the sponsorship board from the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Rich, you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good.
and actually, Bill, the scoreboard is actually costing more than 7,000, right?
Yes. The high school one is approximately 10,500 and Legends is 12,500. And that's because Legends is 2 feet wider.
Yeah, okay.
Well, just for everybody's, this is the state of the art stuff. This is like wireless. They've got a little box that the coaches can use or scorekeepers can use. And it can go over 1,000 feet. So it's going to be quite nice. It'll be a pretty impressive scoreboard.
Any other questions by board members? If not, with the amendment to the motion, all in favor?
We have-
We need a second.
Need a second, Jay.
Yeah,
I'll second.
okay.
Who was that? Who seconded?
Matt Klowski.
Okay, thank you.
Opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Well, the next one is the high school scoreboard.
Yep. Same thing. We'll
Same thing.
amend it with that sentence or two. I think we're fine with it if you guys are okay, and then just go from
Don, you
there.
want to give it a shot?
Ooh,
Yeah, hold on. I make a motion to accept a generous sponsorship from Turgeon Jewelers and the terms outlined in the amended letter by the Board of Parks and Recreation. Wait a minute, outlined in the amended letter of agreement for the Newington High School lacrosse and soccer scoreboard.
Can I have a second?
Second,
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, explain this one to us, Bill. Newington Cross Country event at Mill Pond Park,
Rose country.
June 9th, 2022.
Oh, is that Newington Goes Country? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's just an event that we came up with in regards to signing a Nashville recording artist that has roots in Connecticut. And his name is Jordan Oakes. We got a heck of a deal. And we think we're going to have a whole bunch of ideas. We'll have food trucks there. We'll have a cowboy hat and boot contest. We're trying to get a company to sponsor a mechanical bull riding, potato sack races. So we've got a whole bunch of ideas just to do it, and just wanted to get your approval on the idea, as well as to be able to sell beer and wine and at the event. It would be another fundraiser towards the fireworks.
well, you're gonna be busy this year.
We're busy all the time, Jay.
Any more questions on this?
I've got one
Go ahead,
question.
Tom.
The town of Newington, do we have a master calendar of events throughout the town? Because we've had some times that we've, crossed into, where we're double booking. And I'm just curious whether there is something like that.
You know, do you like the Park and Rec and the fire department and other organizations, golf
Yeah.
tournaments and all that?
Yes, yeah. I mean, just, it's, it's a thought I've had, before getting on the board.
If I could, I could answer it partially. I guess the answer is no, there's not one giant master calendar. However, we share our calendars with anyone that wants it. And we do pride ourselves on trying to cooperate and communicate with everyone around. But there are a lot of things that go on at one time that you just can't avoid. But for big events, community-wide, where our government is, like if there's a department that gets involved, we do have a form that goes around, and I think there's 6 or 7 department heads that have to sign off on it. For instance, today, the library is having a road race. I believe it was May 15th. So we get a form, we check our calendar, we sign off on it. I think it starts at the town manager's office, then it goes to the chief of police, then it goes to fire, ambulance, social services. So I think that might be something that you're talking about. I've tried in my other jobs to try to coordinate everybody's effort, because it sounds like it's a simple thing, but people move so quickly and do so many different things and make so many decisions quickly that by the time you update something, it becomes old or changed.
I know there's been some discussion of late on Facebook about calling for such a calendar to be done, and perhaps when they redo the antiquated website for the town, maybe that's something they will include in it.
It's possible. It's a lot of work, though.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to take responsibility for it. It becomes crazy. I mean, we're trying to do the largest townwide tag sale, and we have the women's club involved. We have the 150th involved, Parks and Rec involved, Kiwanis involved, and it's just like even that changed. That date changed 3 times, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, it would be a great thing to have, but I'm not optimistic that, 1, someone's going to take on that kind of responsibility, and 2, that it would be current.
Well, I agree that there's so many organizations in town, you're bound to have a conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get into churches, we love churches, but they're beat to their own drum too. So they're having tag sales and they're having things, and you're not going to change what those volunteers are doing either.
Right.
They're pretty territorial, and they have turfs that they have to do in certain requirements. So you try to get along and play nice in the sandbox the best you can, but it's not perfect.
Any other questions for Bill? If not, Nicole, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to read the next motion, please?
Sure. I'll make a motion to accept the Newington Goes Country special event on Thursday, June 9th, 2022, featuring Nashville recording artist Jordan Oakes at Mill Pond Park. In addition, allow the Newington Park and Rec Department to apply for the state liquor permit and sell refreshments at the event.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in
Who's
favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes.
Melissa, did you get that second? Was that Ed?
I had Ed.
Ed,
Okay. All right. Ed is going to get, Ed will get the farthest away board member award tonight.
No, Don's right next to me. Don's right next to me.
Mr. DeMaio,
Yes.
it's going back to that calendar.
Yep.
The master calendar. Perhaps sometime this weekend, I can meet you and see what type of work and effort would go into making that calendar, and possibly help, because if we have multiple events spread out across the town, we can't really focus revenue into one particular event. It would just be completely spread out. If that frame of thought makes any sense to you.
Yeah, we could, I mean, if you want to give me a call tomorrow, we could talk about it. That'd be fine. And you can call me Bill. You don't have to call me Mr. DeMayor.
Thank you.
I'd be happy to.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the 150th Anniversary Committee. Reduce rental fees for movie night event at Morton's Community Gym and on June 28, 2022.
You want me to take this one, Eileen, or you?
I can explain it.
Go ahead, Eileen. You're on.
As part of the 150th celebration, we had put our heads together to try to come up with a family-friendly event. And we decided that we would have a movie night, and we were going to have Christmas in July, but it looks like it's going to be Christmas in June. And show the movie Elf and have some refreshments and have the kids come in their pajamas and make it a little, you know, Christmas decorated, something fun for kids to do and families to come and do together. What we're looking for was a fee waiver for the gym, and we agreed that we would take on the expenses of any Parks and Rec employees who had to work the event, because apparently they have to have some coverage in like the hallways and bathrooms, just because that's what our town manager would like. Make sense?
Any other questions for Mrs. Francolino?
And just so we're clear, this is a separate 150th committee event. So they no different than Joe Q Public renting the facility.
Okay, if there's no more questions, Mrs. Francolino, would you like to do the motion?
I'd like to make a motion to, well, no, I wouldn't, because I'm a little confused about this. What is the $120 fee reduction, Bill?
I think to rent the gym for 4 hours, it was $320 off the top of my head. So then you and I took the staff she's talking about are not full-time staff. They're college and high school kids, hall monitors, supervisors. And I think we said $15.50 or something like that, times 4 hours, times 3 because of the concession stand too. Does that come out to, what's 15 is 30, 60?
I thought I said, well, I don't know. I thought we agreed on $300 and how much am I going to have? Wow.
You pay about $240 instead of the $320. Is that right? We did the math.
Okay, I'd like to table this, that we can talk offline, please.
Okay.
I didn't think we were going to have to pay to rent the gym. I thought this was a co-sponsored event that we were working together on. We can table this motion, please.
Well, remember we talked about not making it separate, and you would only pay for the staff.
Right, which I thought was $300, but this motion says I'm accepting $120 fee reduction for the movie night special event. So what is?
So 120 from 320 is $200. Is that right? Yeah. So you pay $200.
You're paying $200 for the staff.
For the staff.
Okay, because the way this reads, it's looking to me like I'm paying $120 less than it costs to rent the gym, and I didn't think I was going to have to pay to rent the gym.
You're not paying for the gym. Normally it would cost $320, which includes the staff. You and I agreed that you'd only pay the staff and not pay for a gym rental. So the staff costs us $200 of the $320. So that's what you're going to pay.
Okay.
You can reword it if you want. We could just say we'll waive the gym rental fee completely and pay $200 towards staff for the event.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, I'd like to make a motion that the 150th anniversary committee agrees to pay Parks and Recreation $200 to cover the cost of labor for the movie night at the Mortensen Community Center held on June 28th, 2022. 200 or 300? What did you tell me? $200.
200.
I believe it's 200.
Okay, so is that okay? Does that make sense?
Second,
Okay.
Who was the second on that?
I'm Gil.
Tom Gill. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion's passes. The next is the Children's Day Carnival at Mill Pond Park,
Yep, this,
July 13th to 15th. Go ahead, Bill.
yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think we gave you a little write-up on it. Well, the idea is to maximize the use of the carnival. That's the company that has come there. So we sent out a letter to Parks and Recreation departments, and mostly friends of mine asked they have their summer camp kids come. They pay $12 for 4 hours during the day from 11 to 10 to 2, I think, 10 to 2 off the top of my head. And that's on Thursday. On Wednesday, we bring our summer camp kids there. So they get to use it during the day without the general public being there. It's safe. It's enjoyable. We just hope it's not 110 degrees like it was a couple years ago. But we'll give them a free ice cream and a free popcorn. And it will be a way for the department to raise an additional revenue for the fireworks.
Any questions?
Just a side note, we got, I believe, 9 towns called us within an hour and a half today when we sent out the email. So
Really?
I think it's going to be a very positive response.
Anthony, can you read the motion? Is Anthony there?
Hey guys, I think he's having technical
Oh,
issues.
okay,
He
Matt.
texted me.
You want to try it, Matt?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I can read it for you guys instead.
Great.
Can I make a motion to approve the Children's Day Carnival at Mill Pond Park on July 13th to 15th, 2022 for Camp Recreate in other towns?
Can I have a second?
Second.
Ed? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next one, Economic Development Business Program.
Mr. Chairman, this is what I talked about earlier.
Yeah,
It's an opportunity to ask businesses, gas stations, restaurants, small stores, whatever, to tell us they'll give 10 or 20% off of anything. And then we'll make an attractive flyer and we'll put it in the goodie bags. And we'll make people feel comfortable or happy about moving to or visiting Newington, Connecticut. And hopefully they'll say nice things about us and they'll spend their dollars with us. And the businesses have been so good to us. We always beg for sponsorships. And this was a way for the department to give back to the business people for free and get involved and make a few bucks.
Good idea.
any questions? Don, you want to read the motion, please?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to endorse the Parks and Recreation Department recruiting business discounts and advertising them at the Lacrosse tournament as outlined in the press release.
Can I have a second?
Second,
Second.
This is Francolino.
Sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes.
I'm kind of envisioning, Mr. Chairman, I'm envisioning a 20% off cherry trees at Stonehenge, and then a kid from California will bring it on the plane with them home.
Oh, God.
Keep that.
Okay,
thought, Bill.
now let's get on to the reports. The Mobile Veteran Memorial. What do you got going on that, Bill?
Let's see. What is this reports on the reports?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So just wanted to update you. We're doing wonderful. It was at the senior center. Now it's on Fenn Road in front of Public Works. Our next plan is to try to move it over to, once we get permission from Lou, to go to Patterson School. We have 19 people signed up for next year. We're accepting applications now. I believe 5 were new, and around 5 were new, and so the rest were renewals. If, for those of you remember, renewals are $15 for the year, and brand new name on it is $30. And American Legions, all-night graduation party, parents, groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, they can sell these spots, and they collect half of the money for their group, and the other half goes to fireworks.
You know, I was just thinking, what do we add to the agenda? I forgot.
Oh, you're right. Good call. Melissa, you with me?
I can't even
Yes,
remember.
I am. We added to accept the
Oh, the
Life
board.
Extravaganza, the 40th anniversary celebration board member event.
Right. If I may, Mr. Chairman, we'll go back to new business. We have another idea that's new. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary of the Life Be In It Extravaganza. It's 41 years, but we didn't have it because of COVID 1 year. And what we thought was we made arrangements. I gave you a news release, I believe that's up on the screen, maybe, Sam?
Yeah, backtracking.
Okay. So what we were doing, the idea is to get the cakery to build the largest anniversary cake in Newington's history. We would bring it out at 1:30 on Saturday in front of the stage. We'd have 40 candles, and we'd invite every board member from Parks and Rec since 1981 to the present to come and stand behind the cake and take a picture with it. The cake would have a theme, 4 different themes. It would have an elephant because we did an elephant tug of war the first year against the firemen. And then we would have the carnival, we'd have fireworks, and we'd have a 4th thing. And I can't remember what the 4th thing was. I lost it, but it's in that news release. And then we would have a reception for the board members in the beer and wine tent and have some refreshments, and they could chat and enjoy each other's company. There's 70 board members that have served as volunteers on the Parks and Rec Board over the 40 years. Certainly some of them have passed on. If they've passed on, we're going to invite their family member to represent them. So you guys are all included, but we also want you to reach out to people, former board members, so that they know about it. And if they've passed on, that their family members know about it, that they can participate. So with that idea, I was looking for a motion that would accept that idea and concept and move it to fruition.
Oh, there's the motion. Tom, you want to give it a shot?
Sure. Motion to accept the Life Be In It Extravaganza 40th Anniversary Celebration Board Member Event.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Francolino. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes.
Great. Thanks for remembering, Jay.
Well, I'm getting old, you know. Okay, the next report is the Mill Pond, the clearing of the banks.
Hey, Jay, can I say something by any chance
ahead.
about the Mobile Veterans Memorial?
Go ahead.
I wasn't here last month for the vote for that, and I did read the minutes of it. Even though it doesn't make a difference since everyone voted, I personally believe with Eileen Francolino. I just don't think it's appropriate that anyone should have to pay for that, especially for a renewal. And I feel like any money that goes towards it should really go to a veterans charity. Personally, if they're going to be paying that money, but that's just my own viewpoint. I just wanted to state that.
Well, thank you, Nicole. Now, can we go on to Mill Pond, clearing the banks there, Bill?
Yep. Just wanted to bring to your attention that the guys went out there with a big boom. We rented it for a week and cleared the banks. And I think, most people have thought it looks beautiful. We're trying to restore it back to where it was. and we're trying to promote grass there, and we'll cut it right to the banks of the edge of the pond. So should be pretty nice. And we worked closely with the Wetlands Commission, and very happy with the results.
Okay. Next is summer concert series at Municipal Parking Lot and Mill Pond Park.
I think we're going to take over as Newington being the music capital of Connecticut. We were able to write some of that American Recovery Program grant money from the government, and we added the data mail money together, and we added some donations, and I think we're putting together about 32, 33 concerts. I just wanted to give you the heads up that we're working with the Kiwanis Club. They're doing a tag sale on Sundays. So in June, we're going to have concerts at the municipal parking lot every Sunday from 12 to 3. And in September, we'll do the same thing with the Kiwanis Club, 12 to 3 on Sundays. On Saturday nights from 5 to 8, we'll do July and August concerts at the municipal parking lot. And hopefully the businesses around there will benefit, and people will buy supper, lunch, and enjoy themselves. We'll have 25 picnic tables set up, and we'll have a small shelter for the band. On Thursday nights, May, June, July, and August, we will, half of August, we will have concerts Thursday nights at Mill Pond Park from 6:30 to 8:30. So I'd venture to say that we're going to have more concerts than any town in this state of Connecticut, and our residents will enjoy some live entertainment at a high value.
Any questions of Bill on this? Okay, let's move on to the aquatic report.
Yep, just things are going well. As you know, we're run the indoor high school pool. Swim lessons are filled, but our lap swimming and recreational swim is down. So we're trying to think of different ways to attract people to the pool. We tried Zumba, but the water is too cold for the age group that normally takes water aerobic Zumba. So we're still working on that. It's not, they have to keep the water cool for competition, but it's complete opposite for recreational swim. But we'll keep working on it.
Oh, water polo.
Yeah, we talked about scuba diving and water polo and inner tube water polo. No bites yet from people. Nobody's biting in on it, but it's a good point. I'll talk to Kelly about it.
Next, the preschool report.
Yeah, preschool's going really well. We hired Coral Richardson, a new director. She's got 30 years of experience in preschool. Woman is a wealth of knowledge. She knows everybody at the state and the Office of Early Childhood. She's in her first week. She's already made some outstanding additions and changes. She'll be meeting with all the parents of the families Tuesday night. She's got open houses planned. She's doing staff training. It's what a breath of fresh air. We're so pleased and tickle pink that we're able to secure her here in Newington. She's going to be a real big positive asset.
And the last one is the elite basketball potential rentals.
Yeah, I just want to give you a heads up. We're negotiating with elite basketball. Nothing's signed yet except for 2 tournaments in February, but we're trying a long range 1-year agreement for some practices late at night after our programs are done, and some weekends that are open in a couple summer camps, but we haven't got them to sign anything yet. So I don't have anything really to bring you concrete, but I do want to let you know that many people, anybody that's gone into our new community center has simply just loved it and really enjoy it and speak the world of it. I know there's people from out of town that tell me all the time that they just came with their kid to travel basketball and they can't believe how beautiful it is.
Is elite basketball something town kids play?
We're advertising through Newington Travel Basketball and Recreation Basketball. It's a high level of basketball, but certainly Newington kids they want Newington kids in it.
Okay.
Okay, before I we don't have any, Sam, do we have any public participation now?
No.
Okay. Okay, before we go to adjournment, do any board members have any concerns that you would like to address, Bill, before we adjourn? If not, I would like to have a motion made to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good.
Okay,
See you
good night,
next
everybody.
month, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Bill.
Thank you.
Well,